Hiya folks, T-Witty here. Welcome to the finale of Shadowrun Returns. Final fight was over. This is one of those games that has a nice little story epilogue. So we're just going to do that, however long it takes. Okay, wow, look at everybody. Let's talk to James Telestrian III first of all. And after we broke up the ritual, Beavis chased Jessica into a small chamber where she was cornered by a couple of buggers. Guess they weren't impressed with her performance. They were about to eat her. And... my gosh. Excuse me. And Beavis says something like, "I won't let them eat you, Jessica. You're coming with me. You're going to pay for what you've done." It was very dramatic. Then we splattered the bugs and handed her over to the UCAS FBI. They're going to want to have a long talk with her about the Universal Brotherhood. So this nest is cleaned out, and your cousin Lynn is being transported to a mental hospital for observation. James assesses you with a newfound respect. Very clean. I believe our test of Project Aegis was a success, Beavis. Herr Brackhaus is having it weaponized now for distribution to knight-errant forces. The authorities are going to have a great many questions about this incident, and I will need to provide details. The Universal Brotherhood has a great many chapter houses, and they must be dealt with immediately. What will happen next? Glad to be of service. What about me? That is for others to determine. People other than you. Still, you have turned in a yeoman's effort, and regardless of your obvious flaws, you are deserving of a reward. What would you ask of me? I hear you have an opening for a new VP of Security. Not much, just McCluskey's badge. I want to get paid, real money. I hear the city's going to shut down the power grid in a part of the Barrens called Touristville. I am sure you appreciate a good slum as much as the next Shadowrunner. However, I fail to see the significance of the Redmond Barrens or its energy resources in the context of this conversation. There are people that live there. Good people. They'll have no lights, no heat. It won't be a slum anymore. It'll be a graveyard. That's unimportant, just fix it. There's a bar in Touristville called the Seamstresses Union. I like it there. You were being altruistic. Forgive me. I did not expect such sentiment from you. He sighs. Very well. I will speak with my contacts on the city's zoning board. I am certain there are better uses of their time than shuffling the city's criminal element from one part of the sprawl to another. Good day. Looks like you two are best buddies now. Alright. Objective complete. Speak to James Telestrian III. I only have 5 karma. Anything else? I guess I just talk to whoever I can talk to. So we got McCluskey, Harlequin, Coyote, Dresden! Dresden's here! And Jake Armitage. Alright, good. I'm a little miffed that we don't get to, that we never got to go back to the Union and talk to all of our friends there. But at least some of our recurring characters are here. And we get to talk to them. Alright. Let's go to McCluskey next. McCluskey's alternating between trying to look important and trying to avoid actual work. What are you looking at, Chube? Nothing. Just some asshole. Charisma 4. Hey, McCluskey, I just spoke to Mr. Telestrian. He said you got your lieutenant's badge. Intelligence 4, your shoes untied. Trick him so you can cold cock him. Strength 5, throw a haymaker. Close combat 5, throw a flurry of punches too fast for the orc to see. McCluskey beams, then his brow furrows. I did? I didn't hear about it. Yep, he said to go down to the station house right away. They're throwing a surprise party for you. Oh, dreck, I shouldn't have said anything. He smirks. Heh, I'll surprise them then. Alright, so we just pranked him. I like that solution better than punching him anyway. Let's talk to Harlequin. The painted elf is watching the scene unfolding around the Universal Brotherhood with a grimace. Well, kid, it's been fun, but I've seen everything I care to see today. I'm gonna get out of here. Is there a problem? Where's Herr Brackhaus? I thought he'd be here too. Okay, seriously, who are you? See you around, Harlequin. He gestures at the crowd as he speaks. Look around. Note the members of the press being shuffled away by Universal Brotherhood spokespeople to get a private briefing. The Brotherhood is connected. A damage control team is probably on the way right now. Think they can control the press? Does the press really matter? Doesn't really affect me. One way or another, they will. If they can't be manipulated, coerced, or bribed, they'll probably disappear. Quietly. There's more, though. He nods his head towards James Telestrian. Note the expression on the UCAS FBI agent speaking to Telestrian. Dismissive, isn't it? That's because there's no love lost between the UCAS and Tyr Tairngire. They're not going to trust what he's telling them. And frankly, I have no idea what he's telling them. James plays his own game, always has. Do you trust him? The FBI isn't stupid enough to ignore this. How could James turn this to his advantage? Harlequin rolls his eyes. No, of course they're not. Government agencies are well known for their perspicacity, and there's no racism in government. That was wiped out in the 20th century. This is getting fun. He points at someone in the crowd and smiles. The man sees him pointing and smiles back. That guy there? He's with Ares Macro Technology. Enormous megacorp, ridiculously powerful. They've been sniffing around Project Aegis for quite a while now. Clearly they have an agenda that's just starting to unfold. He gives the Ares man the finger. The man smiles and returns the gesture. Government, media, business, all working to ensure the truth stays hidden. Not from me. So it's a massive conspiracy. Working together? I don't think so. Not from me. No, not from you. You're a runner, that's the idea. But it's not the giant machination it appears to be. In a way, it's worse. It's a series of conspiracies, conflicting agendas, and petty jealousies, all building upon, feeding upon, and excreting into an unending web of dreck that people wade through every day and call it life. If there was one Dark Lord controlling everything, and we could drive a magic sword through his heart to free the world, that would be grand. Such clarity, such focus, alas. So what's the lesson in all of this, that I did all of it for nothing? He laughs. Just the opposite, schmuck. The lesson is this. The game is rigged, the cards are stacked, the dice are loaded. It's the same as it always was, every cycle. People in power exert power. Little people cower in their homes, think what they're told to think, and buy whatever product will help them forget how horrible their lives are for another day. And that's why we don't play their fragging game. We don't swallow their dreck sandwich and politely ask for another. It's why we run the shadows. That's where real life is, kiddo. Reality's living in the places no one wants you to see. Where's Herr Brackhaus? I thought he'd be here too. He flew back to Berlin, all sorts of things brewing there. He was very impressed with you, though. It could probably turn into work someday, but I'd forget about him if I were you. Never make a deal with a dragon kid. They're playing a different game entirely. Okay, seriously, who are you? A friend. Until I need you for something. Then I'm a bastard. See you around, Harlequin. I like him. Alright. Let's do Dresden. The little coroner is surprised to see you, but he can't hide his delight. Hey, Beavis, I was wondering if I was going to see you again. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to find you here. Wherever there's mayhem, that's where you'll find me. Just making more work for you. Hello, Dresden. How's my favorite body snatcher? Busy. He pops his eyebrows, eager. You know it's all over the Trivid, right? They found the Emerald City Ripper dead at some asylum out in Snohomish, of all places. Turns out he'd been masquerading as the head administrator or something. They found him dead from some sort of vigilante attack. He leans in, whispers conspiratorially. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? A vigilante attack, huh? Wow. I might, hard to say. Why, Mr. Dresden, I have no idea what you mean. Dresden winks. That's what I thought. Well, no one can say he didn't have it coming, am I right? He frowns at himself. That was the double negative. So, the big question, what about the dead man's switch? Now that the Ripper's dead, are you going to collect? Damn right I'm going to collect. Right, the dead man's switch. Almost forgot about that. I'm not sure I care anymore. Then do it for me. I want to see this comes out. I want to see how this comes out. How do you collect? I was told I need a secure line. Shoot, I forgot to read that. He brightens. Lone Star's emergency response team set up a secure phone line right here to coordinate their efforts. I can authorize you to use it. Thanks, Dresden. I'll get around to it soon. Guess it's time to end this thing. Thanks, Dresden. Don't mention it. Take care, Beavis. Alright, so he used that phone to end it. We can finish talking to everybody first. Okay, don't I have a log somewhere? I thought I had a communications log, but maybe I don't. River, settle down. No, anyway. Secure line, call the number, get the reward. Alright, let's talk to Coyote, then Jake. Guess that's it, huh? You captured Sam's killer, and now he'll get his justice. Guess so. All that's left is to get paid. It was a little more involved than I expected. She looks back at the Universal Brotherhood. Just a little. Coyote grins. First time. Well, I'm gonna grab Paco, head back to the Union, maybe watch a trit or something. And I could use a long shower, too. After that, back to destroying the BTL trade. Gonna give up being a runner. You could learn the business, take over for Mrs. Kubota someday. She gets a twinkle in her eye. Someday, maybe, when the rest of my body is made of metal, too. But not today. Today, I run the shadows. Get paid, get dirty. See you around, Beavis. You're quite a guy. I can honestly say I've never met an elf quite like you. Alright, Jake. What's up? Jake shakes his head, smirking as you approach. When you finally get close, he breaks out laughing. I heard the Universal Brotherhood was getting shot up on the police scanner. Knew it had to be you. Did you get her? Did you doubt I would? Oh, I got her. She's in custody now. Ah, justice is served. He scratches his mop of red hair. I guess that concludes the story of Beavis and the Dead Man's Switch, huh? You know, I've been thinking, maybe you should stay in Seattle a while. There's plenty of ways folks like us can get into trouble here. You only skimmed the surface. I heard Mitsuhama's looking for a team, and they specifically want elves. No idea what that's about. And I just got word that something's going on at Crater Lake. The Tiers got it on total lockdown, no fly zone, the whole thing. There could be something in it for us if we poke around. And there's always the Orc Underground. Haven't seen that yet, have you? I got plenty of friends there who are good for a job. Something's bound to come up. What do you say? I'll think about it, Jake. I'm in. Talk to you later. Sorry, Jake, I'm a solo act. Not sure I'm going to stay in Seattle. Heck yes, I'll run with Jake. Those two were the easiest missions in the entire game. I'm in. Talk to you later. Good. We can hash it out over dinner. If you want to find me, I'll be at McCracken's later. Got a taste for some seafood. Take it easy, chummer. And the phone. Let's end it. The phone before you has a simple numerical keypad. You can use it to call Sam's law firm and cash in on the Dead Man's Switch. Call the law firm and finish the job. You tap in the phone number Sam's lawyer gave you days ago. The phone rings 7 times before someone finally answers. The image of the lawyer on the other end of the vidphone is noticeably different from the one you saw a few days ago. The noise in the background sounds like it's coming from a bar. Sam's lawyer. Yeah? He squints into the phone and recognition slowly appears on his face. Oh hey, it's you. Beavis, right? So, you got Sam's killer, huh? Yeah, I got Sam's killer. That's right, and I want to get paid. What the hell is going on? Are you even a lawyer? Yeah, of course. Well, technically I'm not a lawyer anymore, but, I'll just slot Sam's video for you. Hang on. He fumbles for a moment and the camera jerks crazily. Then it goes to static and is replaced by Sam. Good old Sam. Sam still looks like Drek. Same clothes, same background, probably shot at the same time as the first video. Hey buddy, looking good, he giggles. If you're calling this number, that means the job is done, right? He closes his eyes, shakes his head. Congratulations, amigo. I knew you'd do it. You were always the dependable one. More than me, anyway. He looks back at you, trying to speak soberly. I just want to say thank you for whatever you did. It means a lot. Not even knowing what you did, it still means a lot. Because I know you did something, you know what I mean? I know you made it right somehow. He pauses, tilts his head back. His breath hitches in his chest. You're the only one who ever tried to help me, ever. Except my sister. She tried. More than once. She tried. I never let her, though. Never let her in. I regret that. A lot. Did I ever tell you about her, buddy? We're twins. We're twins, I guess. You still a twin after one of you dies? I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. He sighs, heavy. God, listen, do me a favor, will you? If you talk to her, her name is Jessica. Tell her I'm sorry, okay? For everything. She'll know what for. She's Catholic, so she'll forgive me. I need her to forgive me. Just tell her I love her. He straightens himself, shakes it off. That grin is back. Anyway, you need to get paid, which would be great except for one thing. I got nothing. Never did. You know how it is, right? Sorry. But hey, thanks again for giving a crap. Seriously, I appreciate it. Tell you what, if you feel sore about it, look into my family background a bit. There's gotta be people with money in there somewhere. Maybe one of them can throw you a few bucks. Take care, amigo. See you in hell. He reaches forward and shuts off the camera. The vid screen goes to static and the call ends. There's a moment of silence and then you feel a tug on your jacket. It's Dresden. So? What did he say? Thank you. He just said thank you. Nothing, Dresden. Not one damn thing. He told me to never trust a dead man. I guess, yeah, that's it. The Emerald City Ripper killings are sensationalized for several weeks. Lurid reports focus on the killer masquerading as the administrator of Mercy Mental Hospital. Soon after, pop singer Maria Mercurial is cast as the lead in Dr. Ripper, a tri-vid thriller about a reporter who goes undercover as a mental patient to uncover a serial killer. Seattle Newsnet reports a shootout at a chapter house of the Universal Brotherhood. Witnesses claim that a gang of religious fanatics stormed the building for unknown reasons, but committed suicide before they could be captured. All mention of insect spirits, James Telestrian III, or Shadowrunners are kept out of the news. 1 year later, the city of Chicago declares a quarantine area between Lake Michigan and the Des Plaines River. Officially, the Chicago Containment Zone is established to fight an outbreak of an infectious virus, but an infestation of insect spirits is suspected by those who know. A mature form of Project Aegis, called FABS-3, is eventually deployed to remove the bug threat from Chicago. The Watts family name has since been lost to the shadows. Shadowrun returns. There it is. Alright. And that's game. Credits, credits, credits. I have really mixed feelings about this game. I really like the world building. I like the character progression system. I like the karma system for leveling up specific attributes and skills. I think it's really cool. I thought that all of the non-combat missions were really fun. The combat blew. It was just terrible. And the story itself, like, the world building is one thing. The actual story was okay at best. Like, there's just so many things that just kind of got picked up and dropped and never got resolved and didn't go anywhere. Like, I'm really miffed that we never got to go back to the Union and, you know, talk to Cherry Bomb and Mr. Cluey and the Doctor and our Decker buddy and all those folks, you know, and to just kind of leave it off that way, you know. We never saw Paco again, which is weird because he was our very first companion and we know that he's alive, right? Like, all those little loose ends are very strange to me, and I don't like it much. And the combat just wasn't good. It just wasn't. It was way too aggressively RNG with nothing else, and the game didn't give you, and you know, RNG's okay if you've got good ways to actually be strategic with it. Like, you know, something like Baldur's Gate comes to mind, where, yeah, all the combat's RNG, but if you know what you're doing, strategize correctly, use the right potions, other items, what have you, you've got options, you've got different things to try that just weren't there in this game. It was just, oh, you missed. Oh, you got hit. Oh no, you got hit with a spell that zapped all your AP. Oh, they went again, they hit you again. Oh, you're dead. Like, and you didn't really get those options until later on. Like, I guess the mid part of this game was the hardest, because the first few encounters were easy enough. And then, like, the first really bad one was the BTL Den with Coyote. And then there were a few really, really bad ones until like my character got good enough to kind of get over another hump. And there were glitches too, which is just, it's never forgivable. Like the way you couldn't target the bug spirits if you reloaded for any reason. Like maybe they did that on purpose to try and stop you from save scumming, but that was dumb. Like, if so, and I think it was a glitch, and it was a pretty bad one. Like, so all in all, like, it's a game with a lot of good ideas. It's a great premise, and frankly, I can kind of tell that the campaign that we just played, the Dead Man Switch, was almost just an afterthought, because it was really about just rebuilding the Shadowrun RPG system in a way that other people could create other campaign modules. So that's, you know, fair enough, that's reasonable enough, but, you know, the campaign is what I had to play. It's the game I just spent 31 episodes on, and yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. Like, it's worth playing. It's cool. I'd be interested if some of the combat hadn't been so painful. I'd be interested in trying out different builds. Like, I'd be interested in trying out a strength build and an adept build and all those other cool things that I didn't really get into with my spec. But the combat was just so very not fun. I couldn't bring myself to play this again. So I know there are 2 sequels. Shadowrun Hong Kong being the third one, being like the best reviewed. So I'm curious to see if they worked out some of the kinks and did a better job actually writing the campaigns on those. Oh, I can speed this up. Amazing. That's good, because I'm essentially done talking. So I would recommend this, especially as cheaply as you can buy it now. It's been out almost 10 years, but it wasn't great. There's the, you know, it's in that broad middle of games that it's not irredeemable. There's enough there that you can see the good game, or even the great game, just begging to be made inside what we did get. But this wasn't great. This was okay. But I'm glad I played it. I'm glad that everyone picked it. So because this is the Patreon slot, that means it's time. Ordinarily, it would be time to select a new Patreon game. But as I'm recording this, DLC has been released for one of my prior Patreon games, specifically the Shadows of Rose expansion for Resident Evil 8 has been out for a few weeks now, as I record this. And so, I'm not gonna wait for it to get chosen. As far as I'm concerned, the release of the expansion means that a game that was chosen has not yet been completed. So the next few episodes in this slot, I'll be back to Resident Evil 8, specifically playing the Shadows of Rose expansion. And then after that will be a new full selection process for a new Patreon game. So if you're interested in that, the link to join the Patreon is in the video description. Other than that, thank you so much. That's going to do it for Shadowrun Returns, episode and series. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll give the video a like. I hope you'll consider dropping a comment and subscribing to the channel. I already talked about the Patreon. If you're interested in joining my Discord, that link's in the video description as well. Regardless, I am genuinely grateful for your time and attention. I really appreciate you. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll sit through the rest of the credits, but I really don't have anything else to say. These are just all the different Kickstarter backers. A lot of Pauls, a lot of Peters, a lot of Phillips. Anyway, Shadowrun is cool. It's a cool system. It's a cool role-playing universe. And considering this was the point that successfully resurrected it after almost 20 years, or maybe over 20 years. I'm glad Shadowrun's back. I hope the next game has some of the kinks ironed out and is a little more fun to actually play. That's what I hope. Oh my god, another set. Man alive, how many are there? It's getting wild. Thank God I sped it up. Oh, might as well have a sip of my Pepsi. There we go. Did it restart? It restarted. Okay. Well, there you go. That's gonna do it for Shadowrun Returns. Thanks a lot. Take care. I'll see y'all next time.